everybody, and welcome back to Holiday Horror. This is episode 6, and in this episode I'm going to be covering a movie called Christmas Evil. Now, this movie came out in, I believe it was the year of 1980, so it was at the spawn of the slasher genre. And, you know, after Halloween and then Friday the 13th, there were endless amounts of slasher movies coming out, and, you know, because of, Halloween being a holiday, you had to kind of hone in on the Christmas ones. And there are a decent number of Christmas ones. There's Silent Night, Deadly Night, and that movie spawned like 5 sequels. But most people talk about 1 and 2, mostly 2 for Garbage Day. And so Christmas Evil, this one is definitely a very low budget one. And this one, of course, is about someone who kind of loses his mind and becomes an evil Santa Claus. And now this is about someone who is basically developed an obsession with Christmas. And the beginning of the movie, he comes downstairs on Christmas Eve, like the evening time, when he should be asleep, and he sees that there's a Santa Claus in their house, and he's touching his mom very inappropriately. And it's a little bit uncomfortable, but I mean, even for the year that this came out, it's a little surprising. But it's a weird connection of how he develops an obsession with Christmas, because at least me watching this movie, it didn't develop into him having this sexual obsession with Christmas and wanting to be Santa Claus. Like that, it didn't lead to that. It just had him having an obsession with Christmas. And, he developed my dog is drinking a lot of water right now. Developing, these 2 books of the naughty list and the nice list, and almost wants to be a real life Santa Claus. And he has a job at a toy factory called Jolly Dream, and it's very much Christmas involved, about, putting all these toys together on an assembly line. And, while he is like a little higher up in the company, a lot of people don't really respect him as a boss. And even one guy was like, "Hey, could you cover my shift?" And, the main character being like, being kind of a pushover, he's like, "Sure." And then he realizes later that night that he was just out at a bar getting drunk, and he really wasn't on like a vacation with his wife or whatnot. So there's that. So there's a part of him that is, a real outcast from the world. And, when I'm talking about this, it seems a little bit sad, but this movie is pretty funny. It is extremely low budget. One funny thing I noticed in this movie is there are like Christmas songs playing, but if you turn on the captions, like if you watch this on Shudder, for example, and you turn on the captions, it'll have like the words of the songs, like it'll print it on screen what's being said. And I did watch this movie a couple of years ago, but I didn't really remember much about it until I just watched it recently. And it's really interesting because there are these Christmas songs, but I remember one where it's just playing in the background. Like there's one that's playing in the background of a holiday party, and it's like, it's almost singing Santa Claus is coming to town, but it jumbles up all the words and the lyrics to Santa Claus is coming to town, and it's like sung out of order. It makes no sense whatsoever. And also there's a part where the main character is walking down the street, and another one of these songs is playing, and it's like from the perspective of a kid, and it was like, "We didn't get Christmas presents again this year. Daddy spent it all on liquor, and Daddy is like loaded again for Christmas." I'm paraphrasing this, but that's basically what the song was talking about. It's like his dad spent all their money on beer and is getting drunk. And it's like, it's got some really dark themes, but, with the execution of this movie, it just comes off really funny. And, it's so low budget, you can't take it seriously. And so, yeah, the main character, he develops this obsession with Christmas, and, he doesn't have a beard at all, but he has an obsession with dressing up as Santa Claus and everything. And so the night, he kind of loses his mind. He starts to you know, he goes to these different places. Like he ends up going to like some big holiday party being hosted, and like all these drunk people pull him in, and we're like, they're just like, Santa Claus is here, and like he just goes along with it, and everyone's like super stoked to see him, even though like he just came from killing somebody, and like he brought all these toys to this this like orphanage, or like this, it was weird because it looks like an it feels like it would be an orphanage, but it's like a mental hospital at the same time. And he gives all these gifts, and like one of the security guys thinks like he's just a total madman dressed up as Santa. But yeah, this is just an oddball movie, and you know, he descends more and more into madness the more the movie goes on, and has one of the most weirdest endings I've seen of a movie in a while. And the movie just like kind of abruptly ends. Like obviously it ends like where it should end, but it's just so odd. Like he does all these weird evil things, and then at the end of the movie he drives this white van, and halfway through the movie he like, you know, draws this like Santa sleigh design on the side of the van, and he loses his mind, and he goes and drives, and then like drives off the cliff of a bridge, and rather than, you know, descending into a river or whatever is beneath that, he just keeps driving just in the air like he has Santa's sleigh. And I'm so confused by it. And I really don't have much critiques for this movie. Like, you know whether you're going to like this movie or you're going to turn it off within the first 5 minutes. And with really schlocky low budget movies like this, I love that stuff. So of course, like I was laughing at a lot of stuff going on in this movie. And if this is not your thing, it's not your thing. Like you know whether you're gonna like or hate this movie. Lastly, I will add that some really weird things, like bonus things about this movie, is when you go to watch it, the opening credits, the movie is called Better Watch Out, or You Better Watch Out. And I guess that was the original title, but I guess they just decided to change it to Christmas Evil because I think that has a better ring to it. But there was a movie called Better Watch Out that came out, I think like 2015, 2016, and that's a really good movie as well. It's one of those movies, if you haven't seen it or heard anything about it, like I want to talk about that movie. Maybe on another episode, maybe on an episode where Kelly and I are going to just talk about Christmas movies we really like. But yeah, Better Watch Out is one of those movies, like if you don't know anything about it, you just put it on, and like that's the best I can recommend to watch that movie. But that was a movie that was made like, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And so, but the original title of Christmas Evil was You Better Watch Out. And other than that, this also has Jeffrey DeMoon, and if you don't know who he is, he's most famous, the guy is playing Dale from The Walking Dead. So there's that. And he looks completely different from, if you remember what he looks like as Dale, you would not look twice at him because you wouldn't think that was him, but it is him. So that's another fun fact about this movie. Other than that, I would say I recommend watching Christmas Evil. If you like low budget stuff, you will get some enjoyment out of this. And especially if you are subscribed to Shudder, it doesn't hurt. It's free. You know, if you're paying for your Shudder account, just check it out. I mean, they put it on there. They've added a lot of Christmas movies, like right at the beginning of December. So yeah, I highly suggest checking it out. And I guess I'll wrap it up there. Christmas Evil is fun. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. You can leave your old friends behind, and if your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. My name is Brett. I'm quite awkward, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a future video. Bye.